Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. I'm going to do a little bit of a different type broadcast today. It's not feeding the homeless, nor is it talking shit about what's going on in the political world. I want to talk to you about one of my recent hobbies that I've been investing in. I've been a collector in the past. Just to give you a little backstory, I had a comic shop and a baseball card shop when I was about 18 years old. And I've sold and dealt with a lot of antiques and neat stuff along the way, being a junker. So I know quite a bit about the collectible market. A lot of collectible markets, not all of them, but a lot of them. I know about things like silver platters and things like this, whether they're real, whether they're not, if they're stamped, they're worth, if they're not, they're either brass or copper, was coated in silver, silver plated. And at this point, because silver is so high, I'm going to start saving that stuff because if I can get it for less than brass or copper weight, it's worth keeping to me for brass or copper weight, which is going up as well. Copper today is almost $5 a pound for number one, and number two is 450, 460 a pound. Brass is almost $3 a pound the last time I looked. But what I do as a side business, I work at a factory here in town, but every chance I get, I buy scrap or I'm out hunting scrap or picking it up when I run into it. And I have a deal where I go to the thrift stores and look around for sterling silver bracelets, necklaces, platters, trays, gravy boats, and I'm always looking for the real stuff. And while I'm there, I'm always looking for buckets of brass figurines. Like this figurine here was $1. That's what they were trying to sell it for. They couldn't sell it for $1. I would have bought it for $1, but it actually got thrown in a bucket of brass at the one of the thrift stores here in town. Saved for me. I told them I'll come through once a week and buy everything that you can't sell that's metal. And so they hooked me up with about a half a truckload of stuff. Cost me $35. I'm gonna get my money back just in the brass alone. Then I'll make some money off the wire and the metal. But as a process of doing this, I tend to go to these thrift stores because I'm trying to turn this stuff that cost me less than dollar value, less than $3 a pound to purchase it. Then I try to turn it into something like this, something that is like a silver quarter, a real silver quarter. I'm talking $12.30 silver value today. Just crazy. I was buying these for $8 at one time, not too long ago, and now these silver quarters, any quarter, dime, or nickel made before 1964 is silver. They do make commemorative sets like bicentennial sets, kind of like this thing here, that are all silver, and that is after 1964. But after 1964, 90% of coins were no longer made with silver. Now, some coins are made with 90% silver, like these 1911 Morgan dollars. Some coins are freshly minted, like my Trump coins. And those are 999 silver, 1 troy ounce, which today is right at $72. I bought these about 2 weeks ago for $63 a piece. They're now worth $75, $74 a piece, I believe, is the market value today. Just the price of silver has gone up like crazy. That's all I'm seeing on the news. I like being able to turn my brass into silver or even gold. Now, when I first started collecting, I got a coworker at work that collects as well. He said, "Man, the gold and the silver is fixing to go up. It's fixing to go up. You need to buy all you can as quick as you can." I said, "Well, I got some money put up. I've been scrapping all summer and just rat holing all that money, all these air conditioners that I broke down, and I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with it. Just put it up pretty much." And I watched the silver market go from $32 for these things right here. These are $1 silver Morgans, 1890s to 1920s. Bought 9 of them. I pay between $35 and $43 a piece for them. They're $65 today. This is 2.5 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, I bought these. So I've already made money on these. They're 90% silver. They're 1 ounce coins though, so they're a little less than 999 silver 1 ounce coins. These you buy them at new at the local coin shop, local jewelry store. These, they will charge you a premium, a profit for the store. Anytime you get a newly stamped coin, something like a Trump coin or something commemorative, you're not only going to pay the spot price, the weight of the silver price uh, for the coin, but you're also going to pay for their little bit of profit margin because of the fact that it's got Trump on it or whatever the case. So you have two types of market when you go into collecting. There's people that collect things like coins for certain reasons because they're a certain year proof or something, and this one will be more apt to grow in value than a lot of others because it's collectible. It's not only silver, it's a proof, which makes it uncirculated and stamped differently, more valuable. But it's also got the weight. So this is worth about double what it should be worth just in its weight because it's a collectible. And so when you're buying coins and things, gold and silver coins, you're either a collector or you're in it to stack them. You're in it for investment sake, in order to grow your pile, in order to be able to one day have enough weight that what you paid for is worth more later. That's the name of the game, folks. I wish I'd have bought a lot more when I was thinking about it over the last several months, and just in the last 3 months, I've been buying like crazy. And I can honestly say everything I've spent, every dollar I have spent on these things, even dimes that I paid $5 a piece for today, I have no doubt in my mind they'll be worth $6 soon. These here made me money. These here made me money, and this is in 2 months. I bought it. This is what they call these rounds. Anytime you have a coin, there's collectible coins and then there's rounds, and people buy rounds to stack just for weight value. If every time you're trying to build a pound, you buy 17 of these 90%ers, you got you an ounce, or you got you a pound, because they're 1 ounce each. Now this here is 1 troy ounce as well. If you don't know the difference, an ounce of most things is 28 grams. An ounce in metal is 31 grams. That's the way, 31.5 grams. That's the way they break it down. So an ounce is actually a little heavier in metal weights. You just have to figure for the conversion. But this here is 1 troy ounce, 31, or yeah, 1 troy ounce, 31 grams of silver, and it exactly costs you whatever the weight of the silver is, plus usually a couple dollar premium over whatever the market value for the day is of the silver price. All right, now I'm going to explain a little bit more about this. Those are great stacker pieces. These here, if I haven't told you, these here today go for $72. Normally, they're about $45, but due to the market. All right, folks. Now, don't get me wrong, people. I am no expert on silver or on precious metals whatsoever, but I do know about collectibles. I do know about fluctuations in markets. And me personally, instead of putting my money in an IRA or through a 401k or something of that nature, I tend to like to be able to hold on to my stuff, not put it in the bank, put it on crypto, none of that stuff. I'm kind of scared of anything that I can't really hold with my hands. I like tangible stuff, and it's kind of like emergency money in the bank, retirement fund, whatever you want to call it. But I have no intentions on spending any of this. I actually plan on just growing my collection as I can afford it. It's what I've decided I'm doing at this point. From this point forward, is I'm taking all my scrap proceeds and feeding them, using that money towards the homeless and towards growing my collection of investments. Now, I would say I wish I'd have got in at $25. I wish I'd got in and bought more before it was $50 on the silver. Same way with the gold. Gold, when I bought this coin right here, this is a, I think it's called a half eagle. Pull it out of the case for you. This gold, the reason I don't collect as much gold as I do silver is because I'm not a rich man. And a poor man like myself can afford $5 dimes, $12 quarters, and $50 Morgan dollars. $75 uh, not rounds, but blocks or cubes, however you want to call them, squares. But the average man can't afford to purchase these things right here. This here is half an ounce. It's like it's like this much weight, 2/4, half an ounce, but it's gold, and because it's 22 karat gold, this thing is worth about $200 more than I paid for it a couple of months ago. Gold is now $4,500 an ounce. This is a half an ounce, so this is $22.50. I'm guessing today for this particular coin. That's why I can't afford to collect too much gold. Most people can't. It's just a lot of money for a little bit of silver or a little bit of gold. For what I paid for this $2,000 coin, I would have personally preferred to have bought this first, because this is a 2.2 pound kilo of silver that I could have bought when I bought this for about $1,500. Well, these today now go for, I would just have to guess, but 11 days ago when I bought this 2.2 pounds, 1 kilogram of silver. When I bought this, it was $1,960 scale weight. What was it? It was $63 an ounce is what I think it went for, and they sold it to me for spot price because I bought such a quantity. This here, 1960, I spent 2 Mondays ago, so less than 2 weeks ago. This thing today is worth, let's find out together. Let's ask Siri. I'm curious, or Google, or whatever it is. Curious at the moment. And the prices do fluctuate on gold and silver, but for the most part, I think it's a sure investment. There's been a lot of talk about silver going to $100 an ounce. The reason I prefer silver over gold is not just because it's more affordable, but because there's more of a chance that something is going to double that's $50 or $60 an ounce. May go to 120. That doesn't sound near as realistic as a $4,500 ounce of gold going to $9,000 or $10,000. But you never know the market. I would say it's just like the stock market. You have to be careful investing. Don't spend money that you can't afford to invest in. But for the most part, I would say 99% of the silver out there, whether it's 90% silver like most of my silver, or even 99% silver, because it's a block or a fabricated coin, it's absolutely worth the money. It's only going to go up in time. It's a great investment. Cash devalues itself every time it costs more for stuff. Inflation devalues our cash. This stuff here holds its value. That's why I've decided to make this my own personal little retirement emergency fund, whatever you want to call it. But it's crazy just how much the stock market dips and dives and goes up and down. Silver and gold markets, they climb, they drop a little bit, and then they climb again. And it's the same for palladium, iridium, platinum. There's a lot of other precious metals that are valuable as well. But me, I'm a small scale guy. I'm trying to turn my scrap into sterling silver. Now, if you ever go to the thrift store, you have any silver around your house, any of these platters or pans or lids or anything like this, it looks like they're silver. They may look like they're silver, but 99% of them you can scratch them and see that they're brass or copper underneath. But if they happen to have a stamp on them that says 925 or 999, that means they're silver and they're worth more. They're worth their weight at whatever that is. You may have a silver pan because it's pre 1950s, 60s, 40s, depending on the company, and it may be worth its weight in silver. There's a lot of things out there that are made with silver. I'm always looking for jewelry at the thrift stores when they sell jewelry in bags. If I can buy sterling silver charm bracelets for $5, and I know what this dime is $5 worth of silver, then doing the math, I know it's a good buy. But that's what I do. I try to find the best opportunity to get this stuff as easy as I can. There's a lot of ways to try to get out there and get silver. There's a lot of people that buy 50-cent pieces from the bank in bulk and go through them and trying to find these particular 50-cent pieces right here, which is a silver 50-cent piece. They're 1964. There's a lot of 40% silver stuff that come out. And after 1964, 64 to 67, there's some 40%. Most stuff is 90% silver from 64 down, quarters, dimes, and nickels. Some foreign money, like Canadian money, is 35% and 80%. There are some 1942 to 45 nickels that are 35% silver, and they're worth a couple of dollars a piece. But the real money is in stacking this stuff. It's accumulating coins, accumulating pounds. I'm myself personally working on accumulating 3 pounds of silver, and I wish I had 20 pounds right now before it goes up again, because every time I hesitate to buy, I have to pay more for it the next time I go to the shop, and that's just the facts, folks. And I've been watching this happen almost daily. I watch the silver and gold fluctuations. Gold leveled off, went up, leveled off, went up, leveled off, and now it's starting to climb again. And the silver has been climbing for the most part of 2.5 months. It's only dropped a couple of times, $3 or $4, and then went right back up. And the truth of the matter is, they need a lot of silver with circuit boards and technologies that are not recyclable. And so, therefore, we are using our silver supply for manufacturing. And the manufacturers are filling it, and the banks are filling it, and the people that mine and own the silver mines and the investment, they're filling it. And in Shanghai today, the silver is going for, I believe, $78 an ounce. So that tells you where we're headed, folks. It's really a great investment as far as I'm concerned, but this is just my opinion. But there is nothing, I literally nothing that's on my tray here, not one single piece that is going to lose me money. Worst case scenario, I'll be able to cash some of this in one day for what I paid for it. But I don't see it going that way. I think I'm going to stack as many bars as I can, 1 ounce bars, and early 1900 Morgan 90% rounds. These are my two choice buys, because you're not paying premiums on those. You're paying spot price. Matter of fact, this is one of the best buys in the shop when you go to these shops and you're looking for a good piece of silver to buy. When you're buying something that's flashy, you're paying a little more for the flash. And that's just the facts, folks. And the larger amount of coin you buy, the better it is. You don't want to buy a gold coin in tenth amounts. 1/10 of a gold coin, 2/10 of a gold coin, 3/10. You don't want to buy it like that. You want to buy the biggest quantity you can, because you're paying a premium on everything you buy gold. No two ways about it. Every time you buy something gold, they want to make $75 off the coin, which most of the time you get your return on it pretty quick. Mine, it took me about 2 weeks, and I got the 75 I give them in premium over spot price, paid for itself. So I'm in the good on every single piece of coin I've got here, with the exception of the few I bought today, which I paid spot price for, $5.16 a piece, for dimes of all things, folks. If you got any of this stuff laying around, I would not be mixing it with your regular change. But like I said, I'm not here to collect coins. A lot of people are collectors, and it's nice to have something that is worth more than the silver weight, because it's a collectible, and it's silver, and it's a proof. So it's got 3 points of quality that makes it easier to sell. Worth about twice as much usually. Some of them, you grade them depending on the quality of this one, just because of the way it was stamped, and maybe worth quite a bit. But I actually paid $10 for this thing. Found it in the shop. The guy had it marked at $10. I guess it sat in the shop too long. He didn't realize this is worth about $28 in silver weight, as is, just cost melt weight. But collector's value, this thing is worth between $35 and no telling. I have to get it graded if I want to go that route. But truth be known, folks, I'm just trying to enlighten everybody. There's plated silver will trick you and is only worth brass or copper weight. But real sterling silver, anything is worth holding on to. And if you've got money laying around that is not drawing you any interest, that is not helping you anyway, that you know if you have to access it, I could always take all these coins, my 9 Morgans, my 9 quarters, my whatever it is, 40 something ounces of silver here, and my half ounce of gold, and I could go get 100% of my money back. Just because I'm past whatever premium is on what I've spent, because of the fact that stuff just continues keeps going up. I'm just letting everybody know it's not a bad investment. I know most people watch the channel not for the sake of learning about silver, but it's just something to think about, folks. Now, I've got a couple videos here I want to bring to y'all as well, just to prove my point. I'm not the only one saying this. There is a lot of energy behind silver over the last month, because it's going up about $1 an ounce a day on average, and that is just, it's unheard of. It was $61 a gram 2 Saturdays ago, and then when I got there on Monday to buy this bar, it was $63 an ounce. So I paid $2 more an ounce for this. It cost me $32 more. No, it cost me $64 more for this over one day of me not buying it on Saturday, because they were closed on Saturday. And now, like this here has made me, I was going to ask, that was the question. I was going to ask, got distracted. What is a kilo of silver worth today?
Currently valued between $2,270 and $2,320 US dollars. Keep in mind that the price fluctuates, so check a live tracker for the most accurate, real-time price. For financial,
and there is live trackers all over the internet. $2,300, not too bad, not too shabby at all, considering I paid $19.60 for it just days ago. So you see the point here. The quicker you can stack this stuff before it goes through the roof, the better. I don't think there's a time it's ever going to be too late to buy gold or silver, because I think over time the scarcity will continue to grow, because people are going to continue to hold on to their jewelry and hoard their coins and keep it, because it is a tangible investment that a lot of people know. Worst case scenario, I can go get my money back. The banks may crash tomorrow, then our paper could be worthless. I think this stuff will always hold value. Just my opinion, folks. But let's go ahead and get into a couple of videos I want to bring to y'all today, just to confirm what I was telling you about what I know about silver, what's happened to the market. It's went crazy in the last couple of weeks. I mean, the gold's always up and down, but the silver's actually crashed in the past, but dropped a lot at one point, and then it's been down ever since. And just over the last couple of years, it's trickled its way up. And they realize how much silver they need in solar panels and LED and all this AI technology. And so we're at the point of they're starting to panic, and the price is definitely being affected on the mineral markets. All right, check this out, folks. This is a great explanation of why I think what I'm doing is the right answer, and I encourage it.
Anthony Salvanto, thank you. The price of silver and gold reached new highs today. Gold has reached record highs consistently throughout 2025 and are up almost 70% on the year. Silver prices, meanwhile, have gained almost 130% over the course of the year. Let's bring in Javier David for much more on this. He's the business editor of the Dallas Morning News and a CBS News contributor. Javier, thank you so much for your time. Explain this to us. What's the reason behind investors' appetite for silver and gold?
Yeah, look, the short answer is inflation. What you're seeing with gold and precious metals writ large is the inflation hedge in action. These metals are safe haven assets They rise when the global economy is either turbulent, uncertain, or riven by conflicts, and all of these conditions are everywhere these days. So precious metals are basically these attractive alternatives to paper money in times when price pressures are bubbling. In 2025, the gold trade has been so lucrative for a number of investors, even in the face of a stock market that's set new records. So fears of this AI bubble have kind of helped gold, silver, and platinum at the margins by boosting their safe haven allure. But basically, investors use these metals as a hedge against inflation. It basically acts as a tax. It diminishes purchasing power, reduces the value of paper money, eats away at market returns, but it just helps investors park their money in alternative asset pools that can protect their returns, offer them higher returns, or at least just blunt the impact from higher prices.
All right, that makes sense. Cleveland Fed President Beth Hammack says she believes inflation is too high and that interest rates should be on hold after 3 straight cuts. What does the data suggest the best move is?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the central bank have this bias toward easing, but Beth Hammack's remarks underscore how there are these two camps that are splintering off. You've got the dubs that are prioritizing growth and jobs over inflation, but the latter half is telling you everything you need to know. The last segment.
The inflation is affecting, and the fact that our Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's on his way out, and the Federal Reserve tax has just been changed. The Shanghai markets affect the price of silver and gold because they are big buyers. There's so many factors that fluctuate the price of gold and silver, but more than anything, it's the market, who's buying and selling in what quantities, and it actually can be tracked by the minute with several trackers online here. This was a couple of hours ago today. Said, well, this is new, $72.08 for silver by the ounce, US dollars. That is crazy, folks. It's up 44% from last month. It's crazy, folks. That is crazy. See the line here? It's up there at $70. We're right there. It was below 50 not even 2 months ago. Crazy numbers, folks. It's encouraging to see the metal markets be fluctuating in a good way. The price of the metal is up, even the copper, the brass, the tin, everything is up, and I attribute it to Trump's economy. The wheels are finally getting in motion to build these AI centers, to get all this investment in this country from foreign nations. This country is fixing to kick off with a huge business boom. I mean, like building Silicon Valleys all over the United States to subsidize this whole situation, and it's going to take a lot of precious metals to do it, and that's what I know. And that's what you see a lot of analysts say. It's necessary for the silver to go up so all the big businesses don't buy it up off the market before it's gone, because there's only a finite amount, because these mines are not producing like people would expect, not for the demand for sure. And so the recycling of it is a necessity, and the problem with silver is a lot of things like solar panels have so much trash, plastic, glass, components in them that are toxic, that the silver doesn't end up getting recycled, and therefore you're literally putting the silver back in the ground in the worst kind of ways, and it's depleting the total amount. That's what they're saying is going on.
I think there's a number of things that have been affecting gold for the past number of years. So, obviously this has been a great investment and trade for Livermore, and we've kind of looked at this call for the past several years. So it's gone really well. I think the key dynamic continues to be it's the key debasement trade globally, with increased debt, increased fiscal spending by governments, by increased inflation. You've seen this dynamic where gold has essentially exploded in the past number of years. And of course, this year it's up over 70%
Gold is up 70% and silver is up over 100% this year alone. That tells you something is going on with the economy, no doubt about it. Folks, this is about the end of the broadcast. I just wanted to let everybody know that if you got the money to invest, it doesn't take a lot of money. You can start out by buying $5 coins. It'll be worth 6 or 7 soon. Digging up your silver, snagging it up when you can, and when you can afford it, putting a little gold away too. That's what I got for you today, folks. Silver closed today at 78.49 in Shanghai, and so that looks like that is the next step for our market to compensate. And that's a good thing. It means all this stuff is going to continue to go up. So it's never too late to buy.